Title Top 10 Most Powerful Egyptian Gods and Kings Hook. Imagine standing beneath the blazing Egyptian sun more than 3,000 years ago. Before you, temple walls rise like mountains of carved stone. Priests move through clouds of incense. Soldiers bow their heads. Farmers whisper prayers beside the Nile. And above them all stand beings believed to command the universe itself, and rulers who claimed the power of gods while walking among mortals. This is the story of 10 of the most powerful gods and kings of ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt was not simply a kingdom along a river. It was a world ordered by divine balance. Every sunrise was a victory. Every flood of the Nile was a promise of life. Every death opened the door to another existence beyond the desert horizon. For thousands of years, Egyptians looked to their gods to explain the forces that ruled their lives: the sun, the sky, war, death, fertility, justice, chaos, and rebirth. But Egypt also created something extraordinary: kings who were not merely political leaders. Pharaohs were believed to be the living link between humanity and the divine. Their victories could secure cosmic order. Their failures could threaten the land itself. Some became legends, others became gods, and a few changed Egypt forever. Section 1. The Sun King of the Gods. At dawn, the ancient Egyptian world began again. The eastern horizon glowed red over the Nile. Palm trees trembled in the first warm wind. Fishing boats slipped through silver water, and above the desert, the sun emerged. To the Egyptians, this was not an ordinary sunrise. It was Ra. Ra, the great sun god, was believed to sail across the sky each day in a sacred solar boat. His golden light warmed the fields, awakened the cities, and held back the darkness. But every night brought danger. As the sun disappeared in the west, Ra entered the underworld. There, in the black waters of night, he faced his eternal enemy, the serpent Apophis, a monstrous force of chaos that sought to swallow the sun and end creation. Each morning proved that Ra had won again. His power was so immense that pharaohs called themselves the Son of Ra. Their authority was not only political, it was solar, royal, cosmic. Temples devoted to Ra stood open to the sky, flooded with sunlight. Obelisks, towering stone needles, were raised in his honor, their pointed tips catching the first fire of dawn. For ancient Egypt, the sun was not distant, it was watching. Section 2. Osiris, Lord of the dead and the promise of eternal life. Beyond the green fields of the Nile lay the desert, a realm of silence, tombs, and burning wind. For the Egyptians, death was not the end of the journey. It was the beginning of the most dangerous journey of all. And waiting at its center was Osiris. Osiris was the god of the afterlife, resurrection, and the fertile power of the land. He represented the miracle that Egyptians saw every year: seeds disappearing beneath the soil, then returning as green life, the Nile retreating, then flooding once again. But Osiris was also the victim of one of Egypt's most powerful myths. His jealous brother Seth murdered him and scattered his body across the land. Osiris's wife, Isis, searched tirelessly for him. Through grief, devotion, and magic, she restored him long enough to conceive their son, Horus. Osiris could not remain among the living. Instead, he became ruler of the dead. In tomb paintings, he appears seated on a throne, his skin often green or dark like fertile earth. Before him, the dead faced judgment. Their hearts were weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the symbol of truth and cosmic order. A heart heavy with cruelty, greed, or betrayal could be destroyed, but a worthy soul could enter the eternal fields of paradise. For ordinary Egyptians, Osiris offered something no earthly king could promise: hope beyond death. Section 3. Isis, the great mother of magic. In the dim light of an Egyptian temple, a priestess raises her voice in prayer. The words are not simply spoken. They are believed to carry power. No god represented that power more than Isis. Isis was goddess of magic, motherhood, healing, protection, and royal authority. She was clever, determined, and feared even by other gods because of her mastery of sacred knowledge. One famous myth tells how Isis sought the hidden name of Ra himself. In Egyptian belief, knowing a being's true name gave power over them. Through patience and enchantment, Isis forced the aged sun god to reveal it. That secret made her one of the most powerful figures in the divine world. But Isis was also remembered for love. After Osiris was murdered, she crossed Egypt in search of his scattered remains. She mourned him, protected him, and used her magic to restore him. Then she hid their young son Horus in the marshes of the Nile Delta, shielding him from the murderous Seth. In countless images, Isis sits with the infant Horus in her lap. It is an image of tenderness, but behind that tenderness is enormous strength. For centuries after the age of the pharaohs, worship of Isis spread far beyond Egypt to Greece, Rome, and across the Mediterranean world. Her name survived as empires rose and vanished. Section 4. Horus. The falcon who became every furrow high above the Nile. A falcon circles in the desert wind. To ancient Egyptians, that bird was not merely a hunter. It was Horus. Horus was the god of kingship, the sky, protection, and divine victory. His eyes were believed to be the sun and moon. His image, falcon-headed, crowned, and watchful, appeared across Egypt for thousands of years. But Horus was also the child of revenge. After Seth murdered Osiris, Horus grew from a hidden child into a challenger. Their conflict became one of the great struggles in Egyptian mythology, the rightful heir against the force of disorder. The battles were fierce and strange. In some versions, Horus loses an eye. That wounded eye, restored through divine power, became the famous Eye of Horus, a symbol of healing, protection, and wholeness. Eventually, Horus defeats Seth and claims the throne of Egypt. This victory mattered because every living pharaoh was understood to be an earthly form of Horus. When a king sat on the throne, he was not only a man wearing gold and linen. He was Horus defending Egypt against chaos. Section 5. Amun. The hidden god rose above them all at Karnak, near the ancient city of Thebes. Stone columns stretch upward like a forest built for giants. Their surfaces are covered in carved prayers, victories, offerings, and royal names. This was one of the greatest sacred places in the ancient world, and it belonged to Amun. Amun began as a local god, associated with hidden power and the unseen forces of creation. His name could be translated as the Hidden One, but as Thebes became powerful, so did Amun. By the height of Egypt's new kingdom, he had merged with Ra, becoming Amun-Ra, a god of hidden mystery and blazing sunlight, worshipped as king of the gods. Pharaohs poured enormous wealth into his temples. Gold from Nubia, cedar from distant lands, tribute from conquered kingdoms. Much of it flowed into the vast temple estates of Amun. His priesthood became so influential that at times, the high priests of Amun held power that rivaled the pharaoh himself. At Karnak, processions carried sacred boats through avenues lined with ram-headed sphinxes. Drums echoed against colossal pylons. The scent of incense drifted through halls where ordinary people could never enter. Amun was invisible, yet his power was everywhere. Section 6. Hatshepsut. The woman Bo ruled as pharaoh. Now, the story moves from gods to those who ruled beneath their gaze. On the cliffs of Deir el-Bahari, beside the western desert of Thebes, stands a temple unlike any other. Terraces rise from the rock in perfect layers. Colonnades frame the empty blue sky. Behind it, the mountain looms like a natural throne. This was the mortuary temple of Hatshepsut. She was one of ancient Egypt's most remarkable rulers. In a world where kingship was overwhelmingly male, Hatshepsut did not simply govern as a queen regent. She took the full title of pharaoh. She wore the royal crown. She adopted the ceremonial false beard. Her statues often portrayed her with the traditional masculine body of a king, not because she was hiding who she was, but because she was using the visual language of power that Egypt understood. Her reign was not defined by endless conquest. It was defined by prosperity. Hatshepsut restored monuments, strengthened trade, and sent a celebrated expedition to the mysterious land of Punt. Egyptian ships returned with incense trees, exotic animals, rare woods, gold, ivory, and goods from lands many Egyptians would never see. Her temple walls preserved the journey in extraordinary detail. Yet after her death, parts of her image and name were attacked or removed. Whether this was political rivalry, an attempt to reshape royal memory, or something more complex, her legacy was partly buried. But stone remembers, and today, Hatshepsut stands again as one of Egypt's greatest pharaohs. Section 7 Thutmose III, Egypt's greatest conqueror. If Hatshepsut made Egypt prosperous, Thutmose III made it feared. After Hatshepsut's death, he emerged as one of the most successful military leaders in Egyptian history. His armies marched north from Egypt through the Sinai, across Canaan, and into Syria. Their objective was clear: crush rebellion and secure Egyptian influence in the wealthy lands of the eastern Mediterranean. At the Battle of Megiddo, Thutmose faced a coalition of enemy forces. His generals advised caution. The safer routes were known. But Thutmose chose a narrow, dangerous mountain pass, so tight that his troops had to move in single file. If the enemy had been waiting in strength, the Egyptian army could have been trapped and destroyed. Instead, they emerged unexpectedly behind their opponents. The victory was decisive. Megiddo became one of the earliest battles in history, described in detailed written records. Egyptian scribes recorded the campaign, the captured goods, and the long siege that followed. Thutmose III led campaign after campaign, extending Egyptian power farther than it had ever reached before. Cities paid tribute. Foreign princes sent gifts. Egyptian influence stretched from Nubia in the south toward the lands of Syria in the north. For a time, Egypt stood at the center of an empire. Section 8 Akhenaten, the pharaoh who tried to change God. Then came a ruler who turned against the old order. Akhenaten. Before taking this name, he was known as Amenhotep IV. He inherited a kingdom dominated by powerful temples, especially those of Amun. But Akhenaten launched a religious revolution unlike anything Egypt had seen. He elevated the Aten, the visible disk of the sun, above the traditional gods. He changed his own name to honor this new divine focus, and he abandoned the ancient religious center of Thebes to build a new capital in the desert, Akhenaten, now called Amarna. The city rose quickly from the sand. Wide avenues cut through the desert. Open-air temples welcomed direct sunlight. The royal family was shown in a startling new artistic style, intimate, elongated, emotional, almost unfamiliar when compared to Egypt's older, formal traditions. Akhenaten, his queen Nefertiti, and their children appeared beneath the rays of the Aten, whose tiny hands reached downward to offer life. But the transformation came at a cost. The old gods were neglected. The name of Amun was erased in many places. Egypt's foreign territories became unstable while attention turned inward. After Akhenaten died, his revolution collapsed with astonishing speed. The old gods returned. His city was abandoned, and later rulers tried to erase his memory, but the desert preserved what his enemies could not completely destroy. Section 9 Tutankhamun. The boy king, who became immortal Tutankhamun, was not Egypt's most powerful ruler during his lifetime. He did not conquer vast territories. He did not build monuments on the scale of Ramses II. He died young, likely around the age of 19. And yet, today, his name is known across the world. He came to the throne as a child during the aftermath of Akhenaten's religious upheaval. His original name honored the Aten, but it was changed to honor Amun, an unmistakable signal that Egypt was returning to its old religious traditions. Under his reign, the abandoned gods were restored, temples reopened. The kingdom attempted to recover its balance. Then suddenly, the young king died. His tomb was modest by royal standards. Perhaps it had been prepared in haste. But that modesty became the reason it survived. While many royal tombs were looted in antiquity, Tutankhamun's burial remained largely intact until its discovery in 1922. When the tomb was opened, the world saw treasures almost beyond imagination. Golden shrines nested within one another, chariots, beds, weapons, jewelry, food for the afterlife, and at the center the famous golden mask, serene, luminous, and almost impossibly preserved. Tutankhamun became a symbol of ancient Egypt itself, not because he ruled the longest, but because his tomb opened a door into a world that had seemed lost forever. Section 10's Ramses II. The pharaoh built himself into eternity. And finally, there is Ramses II. For many, he is the image of a pharaoh, crowned armored, larger than life. Ramses ruled for roughly 66 years during the New Kingdom. He led armies, signed one of the earliest surviving peace treaties, fathered a vast royal family, and covered Egypt with monuments bearing his name. His greatest military test came at Kadesh, where Egyptian forces clashed with the Hittite Empire in a dramatic struggle for control of Syria. The battle was chaotic. Ramses and his troops were caught in a dangerous situation after misleading intelligence drew them forward. Hittite chariots crashed into the Egyptian camp. Dust, horses, broken soldiers filled the plain. Egypt survived the crisis. Ramses later presented Kadesh as a magnificent personal victory, carving scenes of himself charging into battle across temple walls. The truth was more complicated. The conflict ended without a decisive Egyptian conquest, and years later Egypt and the Hittites made peace. But Ramses understood something vital. Power was not only held, it was displayed. He built relentlessly. At Abu Simbel, colossal statues of Ramses sit carved into a mountainside, staring across the Nile with expressions of eternal authority. His temples, statues, and inscriptions made sure that even long after his death, Egypt would still speak his name. And it did. For more than 3,000 years, ending, the gods of Egypt ruled the sun, the dead, the sky, magic, kingship, and the hidden forces of creation. Its pharaohs commanded armies, raised cities from desert, transformed religion, opened trade routes, and left monuments that still defy time. Some names were erased. Some tombs vanished beneath the sand. Some rulers became legends, but Egypt endured because its people believed that order had to be defended again and again against chaos. Every sunrise over the Nile was proof that Ra had returned. Every green field was a sign of Osiris's promise. Every temple wall, shattered statue, and silent tomb still carries the memory of a civilization that refused to be forgotten. And perhaps that is the true power of ancient Egypt. Not simply that it built monuments meant to last forever, but that, somehow, they did. If you enjoyed this journey through the gods and kings of ancient Egypt, subscribe for more cinematic history documentaries. And tell us in the comments, which ancient civilization, lost city, or historical ruler should we explore next?